But how do I know that the red and blue and the white I see is the same red and blue and white that you see? How do I know that we are looking through the same prism of light? This light that we call white is white and it's a certain color to me, but it might not look the exact same to you, but we both know that this is white. That's a higher form of perspective. You know herself here, A.K.A. the spiritual hustler, A.K.A. Aladdin.
Evil steady watching me, king of herself. The evil steady watching me, like I got a clock on me, but I'm forever gonna keep it G and they can't stop it. Stay riding with the strap on me, got these stones all over me, gotta protect your energy, cause they gon' try.
Peace and love, it's your boy, king of herself, A.K.A. Aladdin. Peace and love, man. Hope y'all taking care of y'allself. Hope y'all tapping into y'allself. I hope y'all learning y'allself. Some people can't do it, or don't know how to do it, or ignore it because your ego. And I'm gonna talk about some egotistical shit, but we're gonna talk about it in a certain way. Perspective. Perspective is one of the biggest things that enhanced my spiritual journey, that enhanced my whole life. And I gotta give a shout out to the one who taught me perspective in a way that changed it, that changed my life. And that's my former girl, Shay Boogie, man. Shout out to you. To start off, really what happened was we was getting into a discussion, and we wasn't working out. Our relationship wasn't working out, right? And I'm trying to get my point across, and I'm going in like, this is how it should be, woo, woo, woo. Vice versa. And basically we wasn't really agreeing, right? And I remember, like, I'm so aggressive sometimes. I remember I was going in trying to get answers and get my point across, and she just kept saying, perspective, perspective, perspective. And I was like, the fuck is you talking about? You know what I mean? That's how I was feeling, like, why you keep mentioning that? But then I slowed down, and she said it again. I had to slow down, and I said, okay, what is perspective? And that's when I came to a realization that everyone has a point of view or a perspective in this reality that we call life. And without perspective, you won't have full understanding on yourself or anyone else. To know yourself, you gotta have perspective. And that's what I had learned. And what I noticed is a lot of people argue, even when it comes to this conscious community or any form of knowledge, these debates, and not even debates, just arguing and not getting along and fussing. A lot of that deals with perspective. You know what I'm saying? Even if you are debating healthy and you guys say, I agree to disagree, 9 times out of 10 is all from the point of perspective. And why is perspective so important? Like I said, it helps you understand who you are and life and other people. That is the one thing that does help us connect to each other. For example, right? This is how deep I go with the perspective. How do you know that the colors you see is the same color someone else see? Example, like this bandana's white, this shirt's white, and we got red and blue, right? But how do I know that the red and blue and the white I see is the same red and blue and white that you see? How do I know that we are looking through the same prism of light? This light that we call white is white and it's a certain color to me, but it might not look the exact same to you, but we both know that this is white. That's a higher form of perspective. But like, if you arguing in a relationship, you guys gotta, the reason why a lot of relationships and friendships and all these things tend to go into a transition and not be together anymore is due to the fact of understanding, aka perspective. You can't have an understanding without perspective. A lot of people don't want to put their ego up and gain perspective from someone else, even if they're not right. Like, we understand truth. Like, you know, we understand truth. So there is a difference between truth and lie. But what I'm saying is, like, you guys can have a different perspective on the truth. And see, this is where it goes even deeper to why like our spirituality got taken away from us in an aspect, or they tell us certain things about the earth that's not true, but due to the fact they put some truth into it, it can change your perspective. Perspective can always change. Perspective is one thing that continues to change if you are willing to elevate and grow. You will always have a new perspective, and that's where infinity comes, because there's no guaranteed perspective on anything. Perspective is the way to grow. As you grow, as a tree grows, if it had eyes, the perspective, aka view of that tree, will be different because it's continuing to grow. So mentally, and spiritually, if you're continuing to grow, your perspective, aka your point of view, shall continue to change. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I see a lot of people are clashing, is with perspective. And knowing we going into the age of Aquarius, it's going to be perspective enlightenment, because Aquarius deals with openness and friendliness and communication. It's an air sign, so it's about speaking, but it's about point of views and all the different things as all together, the openness of everything, right? And the thing that I learned is, some people, this is where that shift comes. Some people are not going to be willing to change their perspective or be open to other people's perspective because of their ego, and they think their perspective is the only way that it should be. That's where the problems be. That's where the clashing comes. You know what I mean? And like I said, that even happens in relationships and friendships. That's why people fall out, because of ego. Ego, your ego, perspective is going to change your ego, man. Some people don't want to change their ego. Some people don't want to grow. You know what I'm saying? Your third eye is going to change your solar plexus or enhance your solar plexus. Solar plexus deals with ego, confidence. Third eye deals with intuition and what you see, your thoughts. So when you really go deep, perspective is like a major key to enhancing your spirituality, enhancing your whole journey as a person. Some people don't want to change their perspective. And that's the way to grow, because you might not agree with somebody, right? Say you don't agree, but if you understand because of their perspective or where they're at in their point of life, that's going to help you understand them, and it helps you how to deal with something because you have perspective of where they're coming from, or you understand their perspective. Like Bible thumping, right? Or religious people, right? I can understand their perspective, and that allows me to communicate my points of where I'm at in my spirituality, to where we can have mutual points or come to a peaceful disagreements or come to an actual agreement, because I understand perspective. When you understand perspective, you understand a whole bunch of shit. And to understand and understand things, you have to understand, which is your perspective. And that matters, bro. That matters. That's why everybody's not getting along, because everybody wants to argue their perspective. Some people don't want to fuck with perspective or point of view. People's like, no, this is what it is, boom, boom, boom. Like I said, I understand truth and lies. There is a difference. There is a difference between truth and lies. But to realize the real truth, which is that we're all one and connected, You're not going to understand any of that shit if you don't look at the perspective of where the fuck they coming from. You can't wake up somebody out of the NASA lies and globe lies if you don't understand their perspective of why they believe that we live on a globe. You can't wake up somebody out of the Bible if you don't have the perspective of where they're coming from the Bible. How can you even teach them or show them anything if all you're trying to do is force what you know and your perspective down their throat without understanding their point of view, aka perspective? But this is something I had to learn. So I get it. I get where a lot of people's clashing, but it's just a divine topic that I know I needed to speak upon because some people don't fuck with perspective. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't fuck with perspective. But perspective is everything. That's why everybody, when it comes to spirituality, no one really has the same spirituality if you really spiritual because of perspective. But that's even with the Bible believers, Quran believers, Torah believers. There's different branches of Muslims, Islam. There's different branches of Christianity. You know what I'm saying? Because of what? Perspective on even that. So even when you go into the higher realms, which we would call spirituality and consciousness, there's perspectives on that. That's why everybody has their own belief system, because it's a perspective on what you know. Now that's where I should say perspective should come from. It should be based off of something you know. That's where perspective should come on, because perspective can create a belief system. Everyone has a belief, but if it's not based off of knowing something, knowing perspective, knowing yourself, knowing, understanding, and overstanding, how can you even have a perspective to create a belief? So yeah, man, I just wanted to make this video. Shout out to Shay Boogie, man. That was one of the main things she taught me. That woman taught me a lot of things. I wouldn't be who I am without Shay. That's some of the realest shit I can say. That woman taught me a lot, like from the jewelry to the meditation, even astrology. How deep I go with astrology. The thing is, I just go deep. I went deeper with it, like my perspective. Speaking of perspective, when I learn shit, my perspective be in a whole nother world sometimes. But yeah, like I was saying, my perspective be in a whole nother world sometimes when people be teaching me things. So I can see some shit deeper or in a light that someone hasn't seen it. So that's what I do. That's how I am. That's how I am with my journey. That's why I call myself Aladdin, because I know how to add all in. We're all added in. Aladdin. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, shout out to that woman. Shout out to that goddess, man. Shay, I love you. I miss you. I appreciate everything you taught me in this journey. I wouldn't be, a lot of people don't understand, I wouldn't be who I am without Shay showing me certain things. I know I showed her a lot too, but she showed me certain things that resonated to all the way to now, to 2021. It was a spiritual journey with that goddess. But yeah, I love you, and I hope you take care of yourself. And if you watch this video, know it's all love, always will be. For sure. Thanks for teaching me perspective. You changed my life with that. And yeah, y'all gain perspective, understand perspective. Know that that can help you with any situation you in. Even if you not agreeing. Like I said, you don't have to agree. But if you have a perspective of where they're coming from, you can maneuver a certain way. You can create peace out of chaos because of perspective. And that's facts. Love y'all. King of Higher Self signing out. A.K.A. Aladdin. Like, share, and subscribe, and comment. And comment, especially the ones on IG. And if you on IG, hit the motherfucking link and like my YouTube and get on my YouTube and subscribe. And all y'all on YouTube, man, comment on my shit. Let's talk. Let's build. Tell me your perspective on my perspective video. Love y'all. Take care of yourself. Know thyself, love thyself, hear thyself. Peace.